Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my partner, Kevin. What's going on, broski?
What's up?
Brian is currently on vacation. If there's something that you don't know about us, we all love going on vacations. So Brian is back on vacation. I was on vacation. I have a vacation planned for like 3 months from now to go to Jamaica. I think we're going to Orlando in January. So, we work hard, play hard. Right, Kev?
Yes, you do.
Kev is like,
I don't go on vacations. I don't know why. Well, it's just a lot of planning, and I don't like that.
We're not going to get into my Reality Guys story. But we are here actually to cover episode 8 of Survivor 41. If it's your first time watching the channel, please like and subscribe so you can catch all of our content. We're very consistent with Survivor, The Bachelor, Bachelorette franchise. We also will be getting back to covering The Challenge, F-Boy Island, any kind of one-off shows. We have a lot of stuff in the plans. And like we said on our last episode, episode 20, Brian and I did the Bachelorette week 4. We will have some other content coming in the near future, some things outside of reality TV. We'll be outside Reality Guys, but related. So stay tuned for all that kind of stuff so you can hear us talk about other stuff that we don't really know what we're talking about. Oh, look at that hair.
Oh,
look at that hair.
Let my hair down. I'm feeling free.
See, that's like metaphorical for us too. We're starting to let our hair down. We're starting to get into our groove. We're starting to do things we want to do. Who's not getting into the groove this week is the Yassa tribe. They're not in sync, Kev. They're officially donezo.
Oh my god, dude, they look miserable.
The Yassa tribe is the Veterans Alliance of Survivor.
Right. Yeah. They're just imploding. And it's crazy. You don't they had everything going for them. They had all this false rah-rah at the beginning of staying together and whatnot, and it's just down the tubes.
I mean, a lot of that stuff is in the aftermath, and where we kind of pick up from this episode was Xander's big moves at the last tribal council. Very smart. The fake immunity idol, not giving away his idol when he actually didn't to Evie because he knew the votes would work out. They did work out. So obviously that tribe's alliance was shot. So Evie starts the episode. She's running around. She's trying to make good with people because she feels like she may have overplayed herself. And that's kind of a theme we see with some of the players throughout this episode. This is kind of the point, right, Kev, where, you're starting to get into jury members, things like that. You really start to see them all actively playing a lot. But this is kind of where starting to play the game or playing the game for a while starts to maybe hurt some of these good players, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that this is much more of a hectic, panicked overall group of contestants together than I've probably ever seen. You see, it just seems like this hustle and bustle at literally the last second of voting. Just everybody's paranoid. There's nobody's actually safe. Everybody's stabbing people in the back, convincing people to get rid of their immunity idols that everybody seems to know about. It's a good season, I think.
There's no such thing as a secret immunity idol or advantage on this season. They all rat each other out. And it's to your point, and I'm not jumping ahead to the end, but one of my main bullet point I had at the top of my page for this episode was these people are addicted to live tribals.
Right. It just doesn't. It's a whole new game. They you're trying to tell me that you had these 15 to 24 hours before this tribal happened, and based on what these people are saying, just is now throwing you for a loop. How are you not thinking about this shit and staying calm? It doesn't make sense.
You and Brian have always, and especially because you guys have really been carrying the torch on the Survivor coverage, you guys have been clamoring for camp life, and camp life has become tribal council life. All the living happens.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to contain all of the gossip and drama. and they're doing a good job of it, because I'm sure they've missed a lot of key points like in the past that it really shows how the game like got to where it was and where the votes came from. But as a viewer, it is very like difficult, I guess, to like watch. It's annoying.
Camp life is, like I said, the tribal council life. It's camp life used to be long form essays. Tribal council life is like Twitter. It is just condensed form of it. And it's what, I think this season has been fun and refreshing in a lot of ways, especially if you're somebody who's watched the show from the beginning. I'm not one of those people. You've been more long form, and Brian, God bless his soul, has binged through like 20 something seasons already. So, but my point is, like, I am starting to see some Twitter complaints and some of these complaints in the groups where it's like, it's just too much at once. And again, I'm enjoying it, but I'm wondering if in the following seasons, if they'll temper back on some of these elements. Like, they're throwing a lot of elements in at once to see what works, and then maybe they kind of take the best of that. But what I don't think they're going to do is make them longer seasons, though. I think they're going to keep that shortened time frame with them actually on the island. It seems like that's at least what they're doing for now.
I hope that's what they're doing, and that would be cool, because based on how up until this season they've done with adapting and stuff, they usually are like on it. The contestants never really run the show like they do kind of in the challenge and stuff. But I think they're going to do a good job with it. However, right now, I agree 100% with the complaints that are coming out. Like, it's very hectic. It just gets to a point where you're like, we'll let them sort it out. Let me know who loses. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I do.
There's too much going on. Too many relationships.
I think this is, like I said, it's a transitional season, but I'm enjoying it. But let's get to the first challenge. So the reward challenge. The reward challenge is going to be 2 random teams who have to assemble puzzle pieces that they got out in the water, put them on the boat, get out to the beach. 2 members of the random teams are allowed to work on the puzzle, which is a pyramid puzzle. So long story short on that, the blue team, which consisted of Evie, Ricard, Deshawn, Erica, and Danny, win the challenge, which was interesting, Kev, because Evie recognized the puzzle from a previous Survivor season.
Yeah, that's a pretty typical training tactic, is to like go back and try and remake and practice on those so that they get their mind in the same type of situation. But
it's really cool, I thought. And I'm not a big Evie fan, but I thought that was a fan. I guess on everyone, I know it's Evie, but if you've watched our episodes before, I've nicknamed her Evie. I got that on our Kevin like this. I got that on our last Bachelor video too. I did get criticism because I was getting names wrong, that I just genuinely just thought that was the name.
Just embrace it.
Yeah, I'm not perfect, man. I'm not perfect. I don't speak for anyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
So the prize was grilled cheese sandwiches, which is pretty dope. I was about that. I mean, that's a pretty good one, right? Like grilled cheese and some chips. That's a pretty dope one.
I don't think I know anybody in this world that would ever say no to a grilled cheese in any way, shape, or form. And if you do, you're an idiot.
The other element to this challenge was, this is the first one where they had a hidden advantage at the sit-out table, which originally was Erica, but Xander actually volunteered himself to switch, which I thought would have maybe triggered her to be like, oh no, I'll stay. He goes and he actually looks, but somehow on the little bench, he didn't find it. I mean, it was literally right there. That was bad.
If I didn't know that there was something to look for, I don't think I would.
It looked like he was looking.
Looked at like the hinge of a bench.
Yeah, but he looked like he was looking though. So you figured you would just get down and look. What do you have to lose, right? Like,
I mean, it's a long game. You can't be thinking about it.
All right. I felt like for all the effort it looked like to me that he put in during that he would have found it. So I was like, I literally might think a live note said he didn't find it. Wow.
I mean, he probably also felt safe. He still has a.
He's scheming too. He's going to start drawing some attention to himself. He already kind of has. Shan and some of the others who weren't on the winning team started to cry. They really, really wanted grilled cheeses.
All right, I know that Shan is your girl.
Yeah, my predicted winner. It's not like we're buddies,
right. But yeah, maybe. No,
but I would be open to it, Chan. If you're watching, I would totally be your friend. I would totally be your friend.
But like in the past, we've had conversations about how we like her and stuff. She's turned a different corner for me. She's just annoying. She's hangry as fuck. She's still trying to run things. You know what I mean? Like,
she's officially hangry. I'll definitely, and she's been trying to run things since the beginning. I mean, that's not really a big secret, but now more people are seeing it, and we'll get to where I wrote down where I think she made her first big mistake in the game this week.
She's like having tantrums in this, or conniptions. Like it's just things aren't going her way, and you can tell it's
things are compiling a little bit. She's definitely had some cracks in her game. Actually, the next bullet point being one of them. She got mad at Ricard, which I thought was a really funny moment. Ricard was on the winning team, and they came back, and Nasir, who is such an underrated, just keeping them alive player, like literally them living, went and found a bunch of papaya and cooked it up for them. So they were happy. They had mad papaya. Shan got mad because that Ricard came over and took a tiny piece of the papaya and openly got mad at him. And
I'm not gonna lie. Out of every bad thing that I just said, this is the one time that I was like, I'd be kind of pissed about this too.
I could see, yeah.
You just got what you needed. And if she didn't say anything, he's gonna eat the whole thing. You know what I mean? And then other people are gonna eat it. I get it. Is
that best for your game though, to publicly admonish him like that?
Well, he was the first one there. So I think she was just trying to nip it in the butt.
Yeah, listen, and again, remember, I want her to win because I picked her, but I thought this was the first sign of like her, like you said, it's a symptom of like control and things aren't going your way. And he said in his confessional, it's like, I think she's just like fucked up because she hasn't won one of the food challenges or a reward yet. And like, she's just getting mad at me. And I think it might fuck our friendship up, which pretty much is already. So,
yeah.
We're on day 16, Kev, for the immunity challenge. This one is a throwback to former Survivor seasons. This has been on former seasons before. It's where you have a block of wood wedged on your head in between another piece of wood above you, and you have to be up on your calves, like on your tippy toes, and it's just an endurance challenge. They threw a little wrench in it where Jeff offered two options. If one person wants to opt out, they can have a serving of rice. If a setting of multiple people sit out, then they can get enough rice for the whole camp for 3 days. There's some negotiating that goes on. They settle on 5. Shannon and Nasir jump out. No one else will come. Then Xander says, if we do 4, I'll come out and I'll need one more. So it happens. He comes out, and Ricard jumps in. So there's the 4. This immunity challenge.
To what you were saying about I have to start making changes.
Yeah.
This is a test run for that.
I like this. I thought this was really cool.
I like that too. But they've done stuff that's essentially what the auction was. It was like, let's see how the fans react to this and start building around that way. That's typically how it goes. Sorry, go on.
No. So they mentioned, which was wild, we've kind of talked about this pre-show, the record for this challenge was 1 hour and 22 minutes.
Dude, I mean, in your head, when they started doing this, how long did you give yourself? Like, I'd go.
Realistically, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes.
I don't see myself going more than.
The thing that's misleading is like how big is the you know what I mean? There's just a couple of things I want to.
Literally no comfort. There's no way.
Oh, I know that, but I'm thinking if I'm really gunning for it, again, I could be dead wrong. I could get 5 seconds. I mean, some of the athletic guys. I mean, like literally, Deshaun, Erica, and Tiffany were out right away. This was the shortest winner ever, and it was Evie. So that definitely throws a wrench in the plan that had been being discussed before by the old broken up Yasa tribe to get rid of Evie. So this is where the unraveling of this week really starts to happen. Liana, she wants Xander to play his idol so that she can vote him out. Also, our girl Shan wants the same thing because obviously they're working together, so they're kind of spreading that word. That's not a bad plan to try to flush an idol out. But it kind of gets to shit when Shan is telling people the fake vote is going to be for Nasir. So she goes, which I thought was smart, was to go give him a heads up that, like, look, if you hear your name, it's a fake. We're doing that as a decoy. He did not like that, dude. He was very insistent that she changes it. And this is where I think it was like a real big mistake. She kind of panics and starts to do it and starts to tell people to change to Heather. This was dumb. Right?
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't think it was intent. Like, it was dumb. I don't.
Would you have told Nasir? Would you have given Nasir the heads up?
If you were who, Shan?
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't dumb, right? I mean, I don't know.
I think they're still in that early stage where it's like, I need to gain as much trust as possible, and this is her way of like getting Nasir to be like, oh, at least you didn't come to me about this. She just wasn't expecting it. She would think he would have. She underestimated him on how much like she could just use him, and I don't think he's really in the wrong for getting pissed.
Yeah,
but because who's to say the wrong person hears this and now there's an extra vote, like anything. But this is again what I was getting back to. She's overplaying this. She's trying to run absolutely everything and still keep alliances together and her top people and her story straight. Like it just shows so much in the tribal council, at least, like how bombarded she is with everything.
Yeah, and Danny did not react well to her. Someone who's in her inner alliance, he openly multiple times during there and then during tribal council, he vocally says that I don't like that you're trying to run me. And I think that will be a dynamic she's going to have to deal with going forward because she's been pretty public about it.
Deshaun, right?
Yeah, it was Deshaun. Excuse me. I said Danny. It was Deshaun.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Deshaun. But like I said, he said like literally in that thing, don't tell me like what to do, and then he did it again in tribal. So yeah, you're right. Deshaun, it changes here. I had it wrong on that line. All right. So I mean, really, that leads into tribal council. 11 voting tribe members left. It starts chill. Jeff, normal questions. It's really not going anywhere. They start to spill the beans a little bit though. People like Deshaun, Evie, Erica comments that nobody knows who's with who. Jeff is like, okay, and it's time to vote. And right when they're going up to vote, like he literally even tells Ricard to go up and vote. That's when Danny and Heather are like, oh, wait, no, can we talk? And he's like, what do you mean? Can you talk?
I was just about to tell these people that.
He's like, we've had all this time. What do you mean?
Yeah. Oh, I was so annoyed.
You can tell Jeff's semi-annoyed by these people. He's like, he's like, yo, if you want to be interesting off the start. Don't pull this bullshit on me.
Right. Yeah. They were like not involved. I don't know. That woman, Heather, she is
so boring. She is so boring.
I know. And it's pathetic, the fact that they're like middle-aged blonde women, that I just combined her and Tiffany together, that now both, I hate them both. And I don't even think I know anything really about Tiffany.
I don't really think I know anything about Heather, honestly.
They're the same person in my head.
Heather wants to vote, change everything in Nasir. Shan says maybe we'll just vote for Heather then because she's starting all this bullshit. Deshaun's mad again, like we were talking about, because he feels like Shan's trying to tell him what to do. But I felt like in this case, she was trying to fill him in at least, so he didn't feel left out on that. But I can see why he would be, pissed at her in general. We really don't know where this is going, so they go to the votes. No advantages are played, no idols are played, no 1 out of 6 chance thing is played. So the next person voted out of Survivor, which would be,
wait. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When the chaos was going down, do you think Ricard was being smooth, trying to convince Xavier to play his idol, or did that just blow up his spot?
Who was he? Do you think he was he telling him to play his his idol for himself? Was that what Ricard was
He was
suggesting?
trying to get him to like.
I think he was trying to get him to. I think he was trying to get him to burn his idol.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to do. But
I don't think he gave
Xavier, or because it seems very
Xander. I would, for other people, I would say yeah, but Xander, like, you seen how that last episode went too. He was pretty open about like saying no to people when they were trying to tell him things. So I don't know. Like, we'll see. I mean, he's definitely Xander. I put on the top here. Man, we underrated him going into this season. We thought he was going to be a goof, and man, he is a smart player.
Yeah. I mean,
I think so.
He's definitely above what we thought he was at. I still don't think he has it.
What do you think about Ricard? Do you think that he fucked himself over?
A little bit. I think it's going to be a topic of conversation next episode. Otherwise, they wouldn't have shown it. But it did come off to me as like a little bit pushy, because he brought it up like it was like he brought it up at the beginning, like, I think you should play it, and then the chaos happened, and I don't think Xander like jumped on that at all. Then the chaos happened, and he like took it as an opportunity to just be like, "Yo, I really think this is about," like he like obviously lied. Like,
I think that's true. I think you're right. No, and like I said, I didn't watch the preview, and secondly, I think I was more, and I think that's probably a lot of viewers, like, we're kind of more caught up in when they were throwing the names out there of like the Heather versus Nasir, basically, because that's what we were led to believe based off those conversations. It was coming down to between. Never really saw Tiffany's name too much in that conversation, but it's interesting that I didn't see the preview, so I think that is going to be, like you said, and it may like save Shan a little bit, because that move may draw the ire towards him, and maybe Shan will see that as an opportunity because she's a little upset with him to knock him out.
Right. This will be the first big
move. And then I wonder, do you think Ricard's the type of guy on a jury that would be more mad at Shan if she made it to the end, or that he would respect the move?
That's a great question.
You know what I mean? Like, he's like he would be a big swing vote.
I think he would give it to Shan if he's the first one on the jury, or he would be the first one. Actually, whatever. It depends.
The second, if he in this for this first person, so Tiffany was voted out,
right? Okay.
So one of the that's which I'm fine with. So she's the first member of the jury. We have 10 survivors remaining.
Right.
So I mean,
it was Richard or Ricard instead. Would he be mad in this situation? I would say no.
I'm thinking even next week, depending on what happens. So it'd be interesting. So, it's cool to have the first member of the jury. It's going to be nice over the next few weeks for us to start to formulate like where we think those type of jurors would land on certain people. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Do you have any other main thoughts or takeaways from this episode?
Just that I thought it was actually a very intriguing episode. I don't know what I liked about it, to be honest, other than what I've already said, but it was, I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do moving forward with it.
I've liked the last 2 episodes, especially. I think the last 2 have been some real high quality episodes, especially like we've said, the tribal council stuff has been pretty intense, but it's been interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't necessarily like that, but overall, I do like the complexity of trying to like play the game in your mind. That's how I always watch it, at least, is
how you would play it,
how I would do it and stuff. And when it comes to this, it's like there's so many things to think about that if you're not there following along intently with what's going on within the tribe and at camp and things like that, I don't think I could figure it out. Like, no move is a guaranteed right now.
No, I agree. Well, like you said, so we will have some coverage starting this coming week with the Challenge All-Stars Season 2. We will try to get some coverage going on again of the current season of the Challenge. Like I said, we have that Netflix special. We're going to take a look at a few other things down the line. Like I had mentioned at the beginning of the episode. Also, stay tuned for some news outside of the Reality Guys, featuring members of the Reality Guys, all of us in some way, shape, or form. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on social media. Our tags are in the description below. But until next time, for myself, for Kevin, for Brian, peace.
See ya.